Hey folks, welcome back. Kind of a wet one out here today, so I snuck out in between rains. I got a little bit of firewood to make because I'm going camping. Here in central Ontario, Canada, we can count on about maybe 8 or 10 weeks of decent weather. The rest of the time is usually really wet, really cold, lots of bugs, or the snow sets in. And so I'm out. I'm going to go camping. I camp quite a bit in the summertime if you're ever out at one of the Ontario parks. Be sure to say hello. I'm no stranger to you if you watch the channel. And so I certainly would welcome you to say hello. I've got some firewood logs here behind me, and I use that word very lightly because there's certainly nothing too impressive. We got some old red pine logs that I sort of keep stashed away from time to time like this. We're going to cut them up. We'll leave the good hardwood logs back there for another time, but we'll cut up the softwood, we'll run them through the Axis, and then I'll have a little bit of firewood to take along with me. Now with that in mind, I'm not traveling all that far this time around. So I'm not going to transport firewood a great distance. I certainly don't want to move pests around. I would hope I don't have any here, but I'm sure there are some. I don't want to move it to an area without them. Now, assuming I didn't have my own supply of firewood, just like everyone else, I'd go out and buy it, and I can buy it from the Ontario Parks Campground Office. Now, what they sell it for from memory is about $10 Canadian per cubic foot. Comes in a cubic foot bag, and presumably you need some kindling. So the kindling you can buy in a bag as well. And that's separate, that's $7 Canadian a bag. Go for a few days, maybe buy a bag or two of firewood, throw in a bag of kindling, and away you go. Now, one thing that sort of sparked my interest with that is, imagine being the person who has the contract to supply all the firewood to Ontario parks. That's got to be a pretty good gig. You have a consistent supply of firewood going out the door, so you're selling it to a good buyer you know is going to always need it. And you just have to make sure the firewood you're sending out the door is good quality and bagged up in the Ontario Parks firewood bags. I don't know. Maybe you're one of those suppliers out there watching this video. Let me know. How do you get involved in that? Anyways, let's get down to it. We're going to cut up the red pine there with the old chainsaw. We'll fire up the Axis and we'll see how we make out. Here we go. You may be wondering why I'm cutting the firewood so short. I keep little totes handy when I go camping, and so these have to fit in there. And I find if I cut 16-inch lengths, which I typically do, they don't fit very well. So I'm trying to cut them like, I don't know, 12 inches, give or take. Had a lot of bad weather lately. Don't anticipate we'll have a problem, but in there. I almost jumped out of my boots. All right. Gosh, that scared me. You don't expect to see mice jumping out of the engine Okay, well, you down in there? I don't know why he wants to make a nest this time of year. Gosh, always something, I tell you. Look at that. That could have been bad. The engine heats up. This catches on fire. Melts some wires that shouldn't be melted. Ruins the seal. That could be bad. Okay, well, it's wet, and it's wet, and it's wet. I'm soaked, but I figured what the heck, I was already wet from sweating, so might as well just keep working. I got a pile of campfire wood good to go. Obviously, it's not drying today, but at least I've got it split. We'll get it put out. It'll dry another day. Let's go get this wet stuff off. I was taking shelter there in the tractor. It's a miserable day out here. And despite that, I got some wood split, and that's the main thing. I still am going camping, so let's just hope this quits before too long. I can sort of hear the rain picking up as we speak, so that was probably a good time to quit. Now, just in terms of the splitting you saw there, I do all kinds of splitting, mostly for firewood for my home and for the home of others. But you saw me take my hands away while things were being split. I don't need to guide that ram there, the wedge going through the wood. It's going to do whatever it wants to do. And as far as I'm concerned, once I get that round in place, I might as well just watch and go along for the ride. If the wedge kicks that wood off to the side and my hands are there, I don't want to get pinched. And so that's why I put the wood there most of the time, move them back, and watch things work. One thing I really like about that splitter that I didn't have much experience with until now is that conveyor. I don't know if I could ever go back to not having a conveyor. It's really nice just using my left hand, swinging the wood off to the side, up the conveyor it goes, and then because it falls from a height, it sorts itself more or less in those IBC cages. Not really on one side or the other. It goes in quite evenly, so that's nice that way. Anyways, that's going to do it for me here today. I'm going to hope for some sun because, well, camping in rain like this certainly won't be any fun. Although I love the outdoors, so I'll make the best of it either way. That's it for me. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like this video, subscribe. Check out my other social platforms I've got out there. Brand new to me, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Hope to see you there.